Do you have a prediction on Cejudo versus Dillashaw? Does that happen again, and does it happen at 35 or 25?
Good question. Good question. If it happens again, most likely, if the guy wins, he's most likely going to win a second time, know. I know TJ says 125s didn't bother him, but, I think you can get more fragile. I mean, TJ was a shredded, solid 135-pounder. I don't know how you drop a weight class without losing muscle. When you lose a little bit of muscle, you kind of lose your balance. There's a lot of things that kind of go with that, and it wasn't like he lost fat. I'd prefer to see them at 135s, I'd prefer to see that fight. I think that would give TJ, a different mindset, okay, I got my muscle back on. This is where I want to be, at least from my perspective, if I was him. I'd like to see it at 135. I think it'd be more interesting. At 25s, it could happen again. I think TJ says he wants that to happen. I don't know if it will. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, the sport changes so fast, and all of a sudden you got, Marlon just wins over the weekend. It went a little harder to ignore. He was easier to ignore a week ago than coming out over, Sunsaw like that. So, I guess I would say this. I think if they rematch, you now have to do it Henry's way, which is, it's not my belt I'm defending. I get to come after your belt. I let you come after my belt, but now I get the chance to come after your belt if you're the one that wants the rematch. So I would think they'll do it at 135, but I'm a buyer of that. If they do it, I mean, they're getting my money. I'm into that. I liked the build up to that. I thought it was fun. I liked the controversy at the end. I thought it was stopped a little bit early.
Right.
I'm into that.
Yeah, it's a tough one to analyze, right? Because it happened so quick. So, I wish I could have, seen it play out more and seen 10, 12, 15 minutes of it so I can, where someone went wrong or someone could make improvements or someone just will never win the rematch. You'll just know sometimes, So, but I'm definitely into it. Cejudo's a beast, to see him lose to Demetrius Johnson and come back and then beat him and now he's on a roll and a tear right now. And he believes in himself. He believes in himself.
And you know what's a little bit unfair is whenever there's a controversial ending, there seems to be psychologically, fans just forget everything that happened before it and just go, there's controversy. Let me give you an example. When Chris Weidman knocked out Anderson Silva the first time, Anderson was kind of in the middle of doing something where people said he was showboating or being cocky. But because he had done whatever that gesture was and then got caught, the fans all said, no, we need to see a rematch and Anderson can beat him. In fact, when they rematched, Anderson went off as a 2-1 favorite. But I will remind you, that was a 7.5-minute fight and Anderson hadn't won a single one of those seconds. But there was something about the fan psychology that because it ended in a less than above board way, everything else was forgotten. Where I tie this in is, it seems as though all we can talk about, and I happen to be a believer in it too, that the fight was stopped early and TJ got screwed. We're forgetting how TJ ended up down there in the first place, though.
Right.
Which is a very fast... I'm even catching myself doing it.
Right.
Going, TJ got screwed, give him a rematch. Wait, this isn't fair to Henry. Whether it was stopped early or not, you go ahead and have a comment. TJ ended up down there.
Yes.
In less than 25 seconds.
Yes.
Because of Henry.
Yes.
We at least owe it to Henry to say, good punch.
Right.
We at least owe him that much.
Absolutely.
And I feel like he's not being given it. That's not right. That's not right by us as fans.
No, that's very true. I never thought of it that way. But no, that's totally it. But, the ref did stop it early. And there's something to say about that. You never will know if TJ will recover it or not. So, therefore, we get to see it again. We want to see it again because of that. If he did KO him, then maybe if the ref didn't jump in early, will we see that rematch again? If he did finish him, do you think we see that again?
Probably not.
Probably not. Might need to thank the ref for that. Who knows,
Probably not. Sometimes those really fast fights that end like that, though, do demand a rematch. And we've seen it as recently as 2018. Thug Rose versus Joanna Not Champion comes to mind. When Thug Rose stopped her the first time, it just looked as though it was a fluke. We've got the grappler against the masterful striker. Sure. The grappler catches her. Rewind that one. And so sometimes there's a calling for that. But so I don't know. And then we're even seeing it more recently with Amanda versus Cyborg, where, it was so fast by Amanda that they went to Dana and said, hey, do you want to do the rematch? And he's going, well, yeah, I think we do really good business there. But guys, this was very decisive. What is it we're arguing about?
Sure, true.
And that's a fair point too. So sometimes when they're really quick like that, but I think I really like this new champ thing. I just like that guys are being given the opportunity. The true competitors that want to go out and amass as many belts as they can, if they got the skills to do it. You only got one life and you got one crack at it. Let's give them the opportunity. I think there's something special there. So I do think that I think they'll redo it. I think they'll do it at 135. I think they have to.
I think they should. Yeah, I would love to see it. Yeah, a champ versus champ. There's so many matches that we missed back in the day, you know, because of the timing and everything. You know, George St. Pierre versus Anderson, maybe Anderson versus John Jones. You know, these just didn't happen, and now we're seeing that. And like boxing does that all the time. You've seen the weight classes are every 6 weights. Guys have 5, 6 titles in different weight classes or 4 different weight classes, and you get these better matchups. It's all about matchups now. We just want to see some dang good matchups.
I agree.
You know, and sometimes doesn't make sense, that title fight, you know, but I just want to see good matchups, and that's what we want to see.
I agree. If you got the guys under contract and they want to fight, put them in there. I mean, we're about to see it with Masvidal versus Till, just by example.
And Pettis too. Pettis right now
too.
And Wonder
versus
Boy.
Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
Hard night out right there for Pettis.
That is tough.
Hard night. I mean, if you're going to give up the weight, do you really want to do it against Wonder Boy? He says yes.
Yeah. But I'll watch it.
I'll
watch it, and I'm excited about it. Like, I don't know who else to see, you know, those guys fight, you know, but different weight classes, all of a sudden you have different people to fight, especially when you fought everyone in the weight class or you fought so many people. Hey, change up a weight class, get some new faces, you know, just for a little bit.